Hello, ladies and gents and everyone in between, and welcome to Pride Month 2018. Bow, 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 bow. That is right, it is June, which means it is Pride Month, which means all over the world, people are celebrating themselves, living their truth. And it's so amazing to just see people living their lives and celebrating. And I guess a crash course in case you don't know how Pride started or what Pride is. I basically kind of just explained it. It's people of the LGBTQIA community celebrating being themselves and living their truth, and allies coming together in support of them. I like to think that allies celebrate pride in being proud to know and love queer people. And Pride originally started in about 1969 at the Stonewall Inn, which is a bar in New York. And it was a gay bar in New York that was, you know, constantly raided. And then one day in 1969, there was a police raid, and that was just kind of the last straw. And there was a week-long riot called the Stonewall Riots. And one thing you need to remember is that it was primarily led by trans women of color. And, you know, the big names are Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera. That is, many say that that was the beginning of the modern LGBTQ civil rights movement. The Stonewall Inn has now is now part of the National Park Service, I believe. I'll link to an article below that like just barely scratches the surface of it all. And, you know, that's just kind of jumping off point for you if you want to learn more about Pride, more about the queer civil rights movement. You know, there's plenty of resources. But with Pride comes inter-community policing. And that's bullshit. A lot of people saying that asexual people don't belong in the LGBTQ community because they're cis-het or whatever. To me, you belong in this community if your gender identity or sexuality is not recognized or represented or is oppressed or you know, made illegal. So to all my aro, ace, intersex, those three are the ones that I've been really seeing being shit on. To all my aro, ace, and intersex people, I welcome you into my community. I know a lot of other people that welcome into their community, so stay strong, you are loved. Now, let's kick it the fuck off with Haley, Kyoko, and Kehlani. What I need. Honestly, I think it's gonna be my summer jam. And I think it should be yours. Like, honestly, All of Expectations is my summer jam. Haley and Kehlani recently came out with a music video for that, and it's just so great. It's like a little mini movie, right? And of course I did a reaction video to it, link below. And Haley Kyoko is on the cover of Nylon Magazine's first ever Pride issue. I will link to that article, and it's just so great to see her living her truth out loud. And, you know, she has made it. And she is representing for a community that I feel like has been taken advantage of a lot by hetero singers and artists. And I think that's part of the reason that a lot of people are skeptical whenever songs by artists come out. Such as this Rita Ora thing. And I think that it's horrible that people are giving her shit. And honestly, Haley was one of those people for giving her shit for speaking her truth. I think it was too in your face for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people were offended when she was saying wine, 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 girls. And it's like, I drink and kiss girls. Like, it's just, do we not expect artists to tell their stories through their music? I just think it's really sad that she had to, like, defend and apologize for her speaking her truth. No one should ever have to do that. Anyway. And just in time for Pride Month, June 8th is the day that Sense8 series finale video or movie thing comes out. I personally did not watch Sense8. Sorry. I just couldn't really get into it. But I do know that there was a lot of outcry when it was canceled, so I'm glad that at least people are getting closure. Not that many of you care, but I do, and I will never stop yelling about this show. Las Estrellas has won big time at the Martin Fierro Awards, which I guess are like the Argentinian equivalent of the Emmys. The show won for Best Series, which, yay, and why don't we get a second season? And Violeta, who plays Florencia, which is half of Flosmin, won Best Actress. Which is just so amazing. And to see all the women that were in that show, and Julieta, my wife, to see her just watching Violeta up there. Yes, unfortunately my wife did not win, but that's okay because she's already won my heart. Anyway, so back to things that you guys care about. The UK has an app called, I don't really know what it's like, Farmer Wants a Wife or something. And it is a very niche app for rural singles. And it is not just for straight farmers, but it's for everyone on the sexuality spectrum. And it invites them to, like, events and stuff. And I guess it's like kind of an events and adventures kind of thing. But Events and Adventures is not a dating app. And I think it's really great because I feel like that demographic is like starving and kind of isolated. And so I think it's great that there's something that they have that can help them meet someone. Sephora is doing a cool thing this month where they are giving free personalized lessons on makeup. It's been marketed towards the queer community. I guess it's an initiative called Bold Beauty for the transgender community. And, you know, trans people can come and learn how to do makeup. I think that's really awesome and gives to give a community a way to increase their confidence. And I think that, you know, having this out there and reaching out to the community is really awesome, because I think that a lot of people in that community don't feel comfortable or confident enough to reach out themselves. And so to have this is great. Also a great marketing tool. So congratulations to Sephora for all the business they're gonna get. And finally, BuzzFeed had its second annual Queer Prom. This time it was in New York, and I think that's just an amazing opportunity for so many young queer people. Like, yeah, I guess a few weeks ago I talked about queer people going to their school's proms, but like there they still have the possibility of negative energy being spewed at them. At Queer Prom, it's all about a safe space and being your true self and celebrating. I wish that BuzzFeed would have it in more places so that like more people could go, because like people getting out to New York, but I think maybe someday they'll make it more accessible. That's all I have for the first week of Pride. I tweeted this before, but I would just like to say I personally have been actually having kind of a hard time this year with Pride, just because of things that have occurred in my life over this past year. And so it makes me so happy to see everyone living their truth, and I'm happy that I can live my truth, but it also is a little bit painful, and it makes me think about all the people that can't live their truths, are unsafe to live their truths. And so if you're one of those people, you are loved, you are welcome. If you are having a hard time, please reach out to somebody. Shit, you can reach out to me, DM me, or, you know, reach out to the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is doing amazing work, saving lives, just by, like, giving someone a trained person to talk to. So I will link to them below. I'm actually going to 2 prides this year. I'm going to Portland Pride. I know it. I know. I'm going to Portland Pride, and I'm going to Seattle Pride. So if you see me there, say hi, or if you want to meet up, let me know. Until next week, when I'll have more prideful news. Go out, make this year queer, live your best life, and spread love.